Hi everyone. I wanted to follow up today on the intuition video that I brought you last time. So want to talk about the difference between listening to your head and listening to that inner voice. I know it can be very confusing, but we're going to separate them and so that you can analyze that, which is, by the way, the mind and not the inner voice. So let's talk about the monkey mind first. The monkey mind is a Buddhist term, and it's just really about your earth life and all the crazy things that happen, interruptions and things like that. But it's about being tied to 9-to-5 jobs. It's tied to getting ahead. We worry about what everybody else thinks of us. We worry about being successful. We worry about being accepted. Those are just what society has put before us, and we just go with it, I guess, when we need to stop worrying about what other people think of us. We need to be our true, authentic selves, and that's really everything, So one of the things we need to do more is nurture ourselves. And then we stop listening to that mind voice a little bit. Well, we don't stop listening to it, but we can tell the difference between, okay, you're worrying too much, and being overly critical and things like that. So one of the things I'd like you to do is every day think of something that nurtures your soul. It could be a bubble bath. It could be learning a new art like painting. It could be very creative. Maybe you like to garden or some other craft. Reading is something, whatever takes you away from it all and says, this is my little space. That's really necessary, even if you're not working on your intuitive muscle. And that is allowing you to be authentic to yourself, and you're not doing it to please anyone else. And that's very important, that you not be trying to be accepted, or that you don't feel guilty for not doing something, or that you drew boundaries. These are all things that most of us still need to learn, even though we see them, we see the words on memes every day, but are we really putting that into action? It makes a difference. So do that every day, just one little thing that honors your soul, even if it's like 10 minutes. So listening to your head and your inner voice. Well, we tend to be very critical and over-analyzing things. And analyzation really is part of the mind. The brain mind. Okay, so we analyze everything, and we're here to do that. Even though we have a right side of our brain who is known more for being intuitive, but it's actually where the intuitive thoughts get processed. It's the emotional side, but that's not really where the intuitive messages come from. They still come from here and in the gut. So when you have thoughts and they are critical or analyzing, whether it's for you or thoughts about other people or situations, that's going to be your mind speaking. When you are feeling something, that's the emotions. So what do you think versus what do you feel? That's really the whole crux of the thing right there. It's almost like you feel your thoughts, and they can still be labeled as thoughts, but you know where it came from and you practice that. And it's like every time you feel like you got a thought, did that come from my head? Am I just making that up? And what if that's my imagination? Well, imagination is very important. Let your imagination imagine. Sometimes we cut that off because as kids we're told, that's just your imagination, ignore it. And so a lot of times we have. But that imagination can be playful. It can have an abundance of messages in it. It helps you meditate. We were given that tool for a reason. I wouldn't ignore it. That will also help you develop. And you can see where your imagination gets, you get carried away with your imagination. Sure. Only you can determine, was I overthinking that and I went into fantasy land, or, was that a free flowing thought that came to me that I should pay attention to? And paying attention is everything. Well, being authentic is everything. Paying attention is very important though. Not everything can be the most important thing. Anyway, being authentic to yourself, using your imagination, and then honoring what you get, trusting what you get. Yes, you could dismiss something that you really feel, I don't think it came, that's not a sign, or that thought was just something because I'm worried about it. That's fine. But there are also truths in there. So you don't dismiss the whole thing. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's in there. And it's very important that if you want to flex this intuitive muscle, then you're going to have to do these exercises. But you're closer than you think. I mean, intuitive messages or thoughts, they come very spontaneously. But they can be controlled. They can be harnessed to the point where it's not so spontaneous. That you can ask yourself a question and then look at your gut for the answer. Making better decisions for your life, deciding to end a toxic relationship. There's a whole bunch of stuff in your life that needs a better blend. This thinking about what everybody else is thinking about you is just nonsense. In this last generation, you can see that there's a big difference in the way they're being raised. I don't know if there's more free thinkers, but there's more diversity and acceptance. There's a lot of non-acceptance. But if we look at, the controversial topics, we have to start with controversy before we can make change. And hopefully there will be a generation soon that just has all that intuition, it's all developed and built in. But for us older geezers, or even the younger geezers, we have to work a little harder because we didn't have that same upbringing. So I know this is a short video, there's the dog, but I'm gonna need to take a nap. I can't even freaking believe it, but I'm gonna be 60 in a few days. I'll probably just need more naps. Anyway, you have a great day, feel blessed, be blessed, namaste, and we'll talk soon. Bye.